Hey guys, it's Maxie here with another TW video. The glamorous hours of 2 in the morning recording this, so apologies if I am a little bit quiet, but I'm in the booking zone, so we carry on. We've got No Mercy here, our October pay-per-view for the SmackDown brand, and the last one before we head into tournament season. So before we kick into tonight's event, I just want to again, if you've got any predictions for who you think will win the Cruiserweight Classic, the Mae Young Classic, the Tag Team Invitational and the World Grand Prix, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And then again, any general comments on wrestling or in TW in general, please let us know. And as always, any likes, subscriptions, they'd be appreciated as well. And check out other bookers on the Fantasy Booker subreddit and the Grey Dog software forums. Now that's out of the way, let's crack on with the show. No Mercy with SmackDown in front of 63,296 fans in the Ford Field Stadium in Detroit, Michigan. And we start off with a couple of pre-show matches. As always, there's a pre-show bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, which saw Rusev defeat the Machine Gun Carl Anderson. Then 10:05 with a Bullplex. B77. Decent. No storyline behind it, it's really just to get both guys on the show to keep them happy. So psychology is a factor, no storyline's a factor, limited match, but it keeps a bit of momentum going with Rusev. Machine Gun will put people over for now, but you can certainly see that even at his age at 41, he's still putting on fairly good matches and getting very impressive in-ring performances. Our second pre-show match had decent wrestling but not a lot of heat. It was the Authors of Pain defeating Sheamus and Shelton Benjamin in 10 minutes and 12 when Akam defeated Sheamus by pinfall. Another defence of the NXT tag titles to gain prestige on that. You can see here Sheamus has had a massive physical decline, so I'm really just using him as a player coach, putting people over. Akam and Razar will keep the tag titles for now before Razar has that mixed martial arts fight down the line. So our main event is going to be Sami Zayn versus Fergal Devitt. We've turned it where Adam Cole and Kevin Owens had a little bit of a tension since the last pay-per-view, so they've kind of been feuding. So I've given Devitt the chance to go for the World Heavyweight title, interfere and get a bit personal with Sami Zayn. It gets an 89, gets the show off to a strong start, gets the crowd hotter, increases the storyline. I just want to add in as well, we did get a news alert at the start of this event, which has implications on tonight and one of the tournaments coming up, so stay tuned for that. That's just a little hint of what's to come. Opening contest was a decent matchup that saw Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman defeat the Young Bucks in 7:16 when Corbin defeated Matt Jackson with the end of days. Short match, Corbin and Strowman take the titles. Matt Jackson has an injury that he's working through, so that's why I kept it short, so it's probably hampered him out much. I don't want to injure him long term, but with a tag team invitational up, I just felt like it was a good opportunity to put the titles on two dominant monsters as they look to swat off all challenges in this ever impressive tag team division. So a B79, obviously the heels are far better in terms of overness because they are main event guys, but it does its job. And a few negatives, obviously storytelling match, Jackson working injured, and because the match was capped just a short length. But new WWE Tag Team Champions. Good luck taking the belts off them. After the match, promo just says, look at the size of us, we're monsters, no one is going to take these tag belts off us, we are the most dominant tag team in WWE, standard promo, 90. Then had a matchup that kind of didn't do great because it was the fourth time I've done it, but I wanted to showcase these particular teams really just because there's another tag match coming up and I was running out of tag teams. About that had decent wrestling and didn't have much heat. It was Gran Metalik and the returning Lince Dorado picking up the win over Bad Influence in 9:35 when Gran Metalik defeated Frankie Kazarian with a springboard Dragon Rana. Now, never really had much for Gran Metalik, so I thought let's put him in a tag team. Let's bring back Lince Dorado. So a C65, a couple of good performances in there. Just the repetitiveness cost this match, and that does take a big hampering to the rating, but still, C65, very promising. Shane McMahon then announces that Xavier Woods has been fired. That's not technically correct. What has actually happened is Xavier Woods turned up high on painkillers. We have sent him to rehab. He is out for 7 months, so he won't be back until after WrestleMania. meaning that the Cruiserweight Championship has been vacated, also meaning that next week, for the Cruiserweight Classic, it's not going to be just the Cruiserweight Classic that is on the line. The winner will also be the new WWE Cruiserweight Champion. And of course, because of that, it means if there's any lightweights on Raw, they can also participate as well. So B81, that was a little announcement. Xavier Woods suspended for 7 months, stripped the title. Big stakes now at the Cruiserweight Classic next week. Another B81 match, and it was a decent wrestling match that didn't have a lot of heat, but told a story as the Revival defeated the Masters of Wrestling in 1407 when Scott Dawson defeated Chris Hero by pinfall. The match had Chris Hero lose because he was turned on by Cesaro. Now, Cesaro was really off his game. I'm going to be phasing both guys out. They both get a physical decline. It seems to be hitting Cesaro a bit more. So maybe give him one wee last decent solo run, and then he'll look to go to probably Lucha Underground as a coach. So disappointed, but it seems Scott Dawson is still glitched out, but the Revival are a solid team for a good title reign every so often, and just to put people over. There we go. Cesaro is now a heel, and the Masters of Wrestling ceased to exist. After the match-up, we just have Cesaro beating the crap out of Chris Hero to get him some more heat. So C plus 70, happy with that. Interesting to see how we can utilise both guys going forward. Next up, US Champion Johnny Gargano's cut a promo on Murphy. Don't worry, it's not a rematch here. Murphy's injured, so Johnny Gargano says it's a shame that's happened to him. Did a couple of good matches, but that means there's now an open challenge for the Cruiserweight, the US Championship, and that was an A89. Continues their storyline, so there's heat when Murphy comes back. Match itself was okay. It was about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, and Gargano defeats Tetsuya Naito in 15:05 with a fast roll-up, making his second title defence. Didn't want to just put it on Naito without a storyline behind it, but B79, two impressive performances, and that match obviously would be a bit better with a story behind it and a bit more time. But overall, Naito's one of his first defeats on the main roster, but we're not going to book him horribly. You know, he'll use this and then branch a storyline out from it, hopefully. Ricochet has got a promo against Velveteen Dream. I know we've had this match before, but Ricochet has one win, Velveteen Dream has one win. It's a case of who can win the decisive third match. Ricochet wants to show he deserves to be a heavyweight champion. He says it's been great, he'd love to represent the Cruiserweight division, but he feels it's his time now become a heavyweight champion. So A90, he is looking a little bit stale, but the storyline advances. And their match, not as good as their previous ones, but superb match regardless. Ricochet defeats the Velveteen Dream in 2050 with the double moonsault. Does the job, puts Ricochet over. Dream happy to do the job, and he's struggling with painkillers. Really worrying that this is affecting a lot of our main roster now. That's a few guys and a lot of injuries, which he'll show as well. After the match, going backstage, Velveteen Dream bumps into Sami Zayn. They have a bit of a heated confrontation and exchange, possibly hinting at a future storyline, a 100, or maybe they're just getting in each other's way. And then before their matchup, Adam Cole and Kevin Owens are brawling backstage before road agents pull them apart and they can actually have their match. So A90, Adam Cole came across as a real star. He's really progressed the last couple of months since we put a bit more faith in him. Match itself was great. Great wrestling and good heat. Adam Cole defeats Kevin Owens in 1956 with a flying crossbody. A94, fantastic. KO's maybe had a bit of a knock on his overness because of losing to Sami, but a great one there, and that'll put him in good position going forward. Then with Sami Zayn cutting a promo, he's cut it on Kevin Owens. Bit of a mistake there, it should be on Fergal Devitt. It's when you book too much Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. But it's just Sami Zayn, he's the champion. It was a great occasion beating Kevin Owens, then defending it, but he's going to show that he is going to be the main guy taking the SmackDown brand forward. And the main event match was sensational wrestling, great heat, but we had a shock with Fergal Devitt defeating Sami Zayn in 29:45 with a double knee gutbuster, following a distraction from the previously mentioned Velveteen Dream. So that confrontation backstage has cost Sami Zayn here, as Devitt is your new World Heavyweight Champion. So A96, again, it was really wanting a couple of short title reigns, just changing up a bit, freshen up a little bit. And it just shows, I think with the SmackDown side of things, that on any given day, different guy can hold the championship. They're all as good as each other. So I wanted to kind of demonstrate that as well, as Devitt becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion. Ends the show to celebrate, which is good in A90, and we finished No Mercy with a very respectable A-star 95, increasing our popularity in 7 regions. So you can see there, easily 8 guys in the main event scene. Devitt, Zayn, Cole, Owens, Ricochet, Dream, Gargano. Probably could put in Corbin and Strowman as well. So it's a stacked roster, but it just shows that in any given day, any guy can be the guy. Teach that to WWE with Roman Reigns, of course. As I say, it's a great opportunity to see all these guys getting opportunities, a few guys in real life. Bit of a smug look for Xavier Woods there. So not a lot here as we head into Book Raw. Lance Hoyt's leaving, that's pretty much it. Absolute success, that's good to see. And we have some competition for Murphy. New Japan are looking at him, Ring of Honor, of course, TNA. Sheamus is unhappy. A buy rate of 4.71. We'll just make sure we keep Murphy. A lot of good stats there. He came up well in Lucha Underground and developmental. Overness is at a pretty decent level. If we just look at his popularity, you can see here, let's spill over, wrong one, track progress. Started as low as a D, and obviously a solid booking has got him up to, upper mid-card level. So he's been someone we've put a lot of faith in the last year, and it's certainly benefited. It just shows if you keep putting people over, they will get over with momentum and big victories, and it's very easy to make a star within a couple of months. So our previous offer's not been considered. New Japan, 25 grand at 5 years. Ring of Honor the same. TNA have went 27, so we're going to have to offer the big money. The good news is we're not exactly short in this save, so yeah, we'll give them 33.33. A lot of money for somebody like Murphy, but steady hand to have. And yeah, he'll be signed, no problem. The likes of Velveteen's on a massive contract as well. I think if I just quickly go to him, 70 grand a week, 6 years. A lot of money? Yes. Is it worth it? Damn right. Meet people at Ciampa's on next to nothing compared to him. So, let's say Cruiserweight Classic will be the one we'll do next. There's a self-schedule that I'm just now, so I do not forget. So, Cruiserweight Classic, that will be Monday the 3rd of October. We'll just change that to Sunday, October 3rd, and that will be our event next week. So, that should be in. Let's quickly scroll. Why is it still dormant? That's on me. Active. Should be in. Perfect. I don't think I've actually got a logo for this, so that's probably on me. I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to get lazy and not have one. But yeah, it's Cruiserweight Classic anyway that's coming up. That's this challenge on it, we'll go with that. But yeah, looking forward to that. As I say, new Cruiserweight Champion. Just to end the show, medically, you can see Xavier Woods rehab. Still another 4 months for Ali Flair and Dana Brooke before they're back. Injuries, Matt Jackson 15 days. You also lost Davey Richards for 20 days. Luke Harper for 44. Murphy with 53. Romero with 16. And Walter for another 3. No point in doing surgery for such a small amount of time. It's 5 weeks, 6 weeks in their back. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys and girls enjoyed watching the show. As I say, if you did, leave a wee thumbs up, it'd be deeply appreciated. And please, check us out next week, the Cruiserweight Classic, and go back and check the playlist. You can see last year's Cruiserweight Classic and all the previous pay-per-views we've done since the grand day of the first week of April. It's a long time ago, April 2016. So there's 5 in-game years worth of videos in the playlist. If you're bored one day, check them out and you can see how bad the first original ones were compared to these and how difficult it was to get people over at the start. But cheers for watching, much appreciated, and hopefully see you next time. Bye bye.